Trust doesn't usually collapse in one loud moment, it shifts quietly, subtly, almost politely. For most of my marriage, I never questioned my wife. Not once. Her name is Melissa. We've been married 26 years. We met when we were both starting out, two broke 20-somethings sharing takeout dinners and big plans. She was ambitious even back then, driven, organized, sharp. I was steadier, slower. I built things carefully. Together, it worked. Over the years, her career took off in ways neither of us expected. She became a partner in a consulting firm. Long hours, business dinners, conferences. I was proud of her, truly proud. When people asked what she did, I'd talk about her like she'd just won an award. If she came home late, I didn't question it. If she traveled often, I supported it. Trust felt natural. The ride happened on a Thursday afternoon. My car was in the shop and I needed to get across town for a meeting. Melissa mentioned her business partner, Andrew, would be nearby and could drop me off. I had met Andrew a few times at company events. Polished guy, confident, the kind of man who fills a room without trying too hard. I didn't hesitate. Sure, I said, tell him I appreciate it. Andrew pulled up in a black SUV right on time. He smiled, shook my hand, made small talk about traffic and weather. It was normal, completely normal. Until it was. About 10 minutes into the drive, his phone connected automatically to the car's Bluetooth. I assume it had been paired before. A message notification popped up on the dashboard screen. Melissa, miss you already. Today was dangerous. Andrew reached to silence it immediately, too quickly. We both saw it. There was a split second where neither of us spoke. The air in the car felt different. He cleared his throat. Sorry, work stuff. I nodded slowly. My brain was trying to interpret the sentence I had just read. Miss you already. Today was dangerous. Work stuff didn't sound like that. I wanted to ask, I wanted to confront him right there, but something inside me hesitated, maybe because I didn't want to believe what seemed obvious. The rest of the ride was quiet, forced small talk, tight smiles. When he dropped me off, he said, "Good seeing you." His tone was measured, controlled. I stepped out of the SUV feeling like the ground wasn't steady. Maybe it was harmless, maybe it was a joke, maybe there was context I didn't understand. That's what trust does, it tries to protect you from suspicion. But once doubt enters, it doesn't leave politely. That evening, Melissa came home around 8:30. She kissed my cheek like she always did, asked how my day went. I watched her more closely than usual. Busy, she said, slipping off her heels. Andrew and I had back-to-back meetings. Andrew and I forced a calm tone. Yeah, I saw him earlier, thanks for arranging the ride. She froze for a fraction of a second. Oh, right, she said lightly. Was that awkward? Why would it be awkward? I asked. She shrugged, no reason. That tiny hesitation stayed with me. For the next week, I paid attention, not obsessively, just quietly. I noticed how often Andrew's name came up, how her phone screen would tilt slightly away when she texted, how certain business trips seemed unusually frequent. Still, I said nothing. I wanted proof before accusation. I didn't want to become paranoid over one message. Then came the second moment. She left her laptop open on the kitchen table one Saturday morning while she stepped into the shower. I wasn't looking for anything. I was just cleaning up dishes when an email notification preview popped up. From Andrew. Subject line, about yesterday. I stared at it longer than I should have. I shouldn't have opened it. But I did. It wasn't explicit, that's what made it worse, it was emotional. I know we said we needed to be careful. I just can't pretend nothing's happening between us. My chest felt tight. There it was. Not a drunken mistake, not a misunderstanding. Something ongoing. When Melissa came downstairs, she knew immediately something had shifted. You look pale, she said. I saw the email, I replied quietly. She didn't ask which one. She just sat down. There was no denial, no dramatic attempt to spin it. It wasn't supposed to happen, she said. Those words always sound rehearsed when you hear them. How long, I asked. A few months. All those late meetings, all those conferences, all those nights I told friends how lucky I was to have such a driven wife. It started as work, she continued. We spent so much time together, it blurred. Blurred. That word again, as if boundaries dissolve accidentally. Did you love him? I asked. She hesitated. I don't know. That hurt more than yes. The affair wasn't just physical, it was emotional, shared stress, shared ambition, shared secrets. And I had been the steady background. I never meant to hurt you, she said softly. But you did, I replied. The next few weeks were heavy, not explosive, just quiet and raw. She ended things with Andrew immediately, resigned from the partnership, cut professional ties. I didn't ask her to. She did it because she knew there was no rebuilding without that step. Trust doesn't disappear instantly, it erodes, and rebuilding it feels unnatural at first. There were nights I couldn't sleep, nights I replayed every business trip in my head, every dinner she claimed ran late. The hardest part wasn't the betrayal itself. It was realizing how easily I had trusted without question. I used to believe trust meant never doubting. Now I understand trust also requires awareness. We started therapy. In one session, the counselor asked me what hurt most. It's not that she chose him, I said slowly. It's that she didn't think I'd ever find out. Melissa cried at that. Because it was true. The car ride exposed everything, not because Andrew confessed, not because I searched through her phone obsessively, but because one careless moment revealed what had been hidden. Sometimes exposure doesn't come from investigation, it comes from coincidence. I don't know yet what our final chapter looks like. We're still here, still trying. Some days feel hopeful, others feel fragile. But I've learned something important. Trust is powerful, but blind trust is dangerous. I always trusted my wife. And one simple ride with her business partner exposed everything I thought I knew about my marriage. Not in a dramatic confrontation, not in a shouting match, just a message on a dashboard screen. And silence that followed.